Working on this side, I primed. Put a little thin Bondo on several places here. Start working on this bed. This whole top is full of dents. This back part, a few little dents. Straighten that tailgate out a little, but these places were really bothering me. And so what I did, I took my cutoff tool and I opened up this here in the corner. And I'll show you here. It's, you can see it's caved in like an inch. That's quite a bit. The other side's a little better, but I'm going to try just to pry this open, stick a bar in there, and hopefully I can bend this out. Well, I tried a quarter power on it with a spreader. It's starting to bend it, but I really can't get it in there far enough, and it's really strong. I'm not really accomplishing much of anything here. I think, much as I hate to do it, what I'm going to have to do is cut that whole piece out of there and Bondo it up, or cut it out and beat it straight and then try to Bondo it. I didn't really want to do all that welding, but it looks like that's going to be the really only way to get it straight. The other thing is just to put a ton of Bondo on it, and I really don't want to do that. At least I can get it out flat and hammer it and get it shaped and then weld it in, and then maybe I might have a 1/4 inch of Bondo instead of an inch, because that'll just fall off. Anyway, that's what I'll do. I'll just cut that piece out of there. I figured that's what I was going to do in the first place. Got enough of a 1/4 power in there to pull that out. Had a real bad crush right there. Can't really do much about that, but I've got it bent out quite a bit, and I was able to use it on that bottom one and got it straight. Still needs a lot of work, but I can kind of pound this in and try to get it fairly straight, knock this in. It looked like they tried to drill it and pull it out with a body hammer. Of course that didn't work, but I've got it fairly straight. I probably got it way over where I need it. Not much. But by the time I get it pounded back in, it'll be alright. So I'm just going to try to see if I can get this little place here out of here. Might be better just to cut it and straighten it out. I'm going to clean the rest of Bondo off. You know, it's much easier to put a little Bondo in it than it is try to cut that whole piece out of there and straighten it, weld it back. Yeah, I tried slotting it. It's really tough. I made it a little better, but not much. I'll just work on this a little more and try to try to get it fairly straight with a body hammer. Move on. Well, I got the piece straightened out pretty good and roughly where it goes. It's not perfect, but it's like within about 1/4 of an inch here. So I need to clean it up, weld it, and try to do the best I can with it, but this was a lot of work, and I think on this one I'll just go with Bondo. I'm not trying to do all the body work on this thing. I wasn't really planning on this, but I wanted to paint this side, and that's part of it. So a little grinding and welding, and hopefully I can get the primer on this thing. Today's Monday, Memorial Day. It's about 3 or 4 o'clock. I don't know if I got time or not. We'll see. Well, that wasn't too bad. It's not ground down perfect, but it's all going to get covered with Bondo. So that's my next deal. Put a layer of Bondo on it. End of the day, I'm tired. My back's killing me. But this thing's ready to prime. This is pretty decent. It's just been sanded down with 40 grit. Nothing real special. But I wanted to get this bed primed today. So I'll just mix up some primer and spray on here what I got. I'm not trying to do a great job, just trying to get it covered in primer and finish up all that stuff up there. I'm kind of tired. Had enough of this truck for one day. Well, got it done, or at least primered. This side's pretty good. This tail light don't look too bad. It's just real rough. I got a little bit of work to do there. Bed straight, and looks like I missed a little there. But basically, the whole truck is primered. At least the sides of it. Shouldn't be too much trouble to work on that bed tomorrow on the back of that cab. And I'm not going to do any cutting or welding there. I'm just gonna bundle that back place up. But looks real straight. This side here I made a couple passes over. But the other side, it won't take much. It's basically straight. I have some little stuff that I need to fix, but looks pretty good overall. Well, I let that primer dry. Painted it last night. Looks like I got a little bit of work here around that where I welded it. A few places here on the side. I was tired. I just wanted to get primer on it. Got a dent there. and a couple little more places up here in front. So I'm just going over it right now. With this was a 40 grit on a DA. Just knocking down some of the highs, finding my low spots. I'll mix me up some thin Bondo here and cover this. Get this primered, and then I'm going to try to get the rest of this hood. I've got a big dent there in the back. I'll try to get that bondoed up and the rest of this hood painted. Or not the hood, the roof. And tailgate looks pretty decent. And I'll try to sort this out. Anyway, that's the goal for today. Try to get the rest of this thing in primer. Hours DA work. Got this all whittled down pretty good. As straight as I can tell, I got most of that roof done up there. Some dents knocked out. I'm going to reach up in there and knock a couple more out. Got part of this back sanded, mostly where I need to put Bondo on it. So I'll throw some Bondo on and continue sanding. This place here is getting closer. I'm going to take a hacksaw or something and put a groove in that. Try to get it straight before I do that, so I don't just fill my groove up again. And still a lot of work. I'd like to try to get this bed kind of sanded down, but I've got at least half of the day gone. I'm still looking at that old Cadillac there. Guy never brought me the steel on the ramp truck, so just waiting on that. Anyway, continue to try to get this thing primered. Pretty much done. This is the side that I worked on today. It looks alright. Got the back of the cab straight. I still have to do the inside of the bed around these lights. Fix that dent. But basically, truck's in primer. One more good day and I'll be done. Kind of moving on here. I've got this pretty straight with some Bondo. I worked a little bit more on this area right here. Touched a little. But what I'm really working on now is this this roof area and this drip rail down in here. It's pretty bad. Right there you can see it's gone completely. I was gonna weld this up and seal it and do some other stuff to it, but I'm just gonna put a piece of tape on this for now and just fill this up here with Bondo. Just get it where it's kind of straight and don't leak. I've got some seam sealer that once I get some primer on it, I just put a coat of seam sealer in there. And I've got a couple dents here in the middle of the hood. I worked a little bit on this area, but now I've got to do all this area here. around the window and rubber. Got another guy that wants to buy it. He wants to use it for a work truck. He's a friend of mine, my neighbor. So he's not really worried about restoring this thing to any kind of perfection. He just wants to drive it and haul stuff, and it's fine for that. But I'm going to just try to finish these little details today. This needs a little work. This one's pretty close. I've got a few little dents and stuff that I marked. Nothing real bad. It's going to take some time for that drip rail. And this front window here. But I think I can get this all done today. And if I got time, I'll move on to this bottom grill. That's going to take a little time because it's got to be sanded by hand. I can't really get a machine in there. But this is where it's at right now. Just working on finishing up some of these little corners and stuff. A little sanding and a couple final coats. This one's straight. I cleaned this up pretty good with some Bondo. Taped it and filled it. I'm gonna have to sand this down. I'll have to do this all by hand here. But looking pretty decent. I hogged this off with 80 grit and 40 grit. Kind of got this half of the cab done. Good enough for primer so I can see what I'm doing. Here we go. Hit it with another coat of primer. Kind of dark in here, but got it good around the cab and the windows. The back of the cab's all done. I finished up this part. It's pretty straight. Looks like I got a little work right there to do on it on the right. This one here needs a little more tweaking. But looks pretty good. Got this side of the cab and the door. And that big spot there is where I cleaned my gun with acetone and just sprayed the primer on to see what it was going to do. But it's pretty much done. There was a lot of work done on the cab. All I've got left now is the windshield wiper area and the front grille. I got this area right here and this lower area here. Gotta take a little sanding on that, and of course the headlights. But I've got 95% of it done. One more day and I'll finish this up. I'll patch that back stuff around the lights, and I've got about a quart of primer left. So it'll be good enough. That's really patchy looking there on the door. But it's all smooth. Just where I filled up and bondoed a little bit. But I'll probably just, when I get ready to do this last part, I'll mix up enough primer. I'll just mix the rest of it up go ahead and do the inside of the bed. Try to just prime this whole thing best I can. So, another good day on this, and it'll be in primer. There it is. It's kind of in the shadow, but it's real straight. I still got a little work on the bed, knock out a few dents. Cab looks good. This side here is real straight. So Mr. Truck is just about done. One more day. I put some 80 grit on it. Worked plenty good. It's pulling or cutting the primer off real nice. I had it on some low places, but it's definitely showing me my highs and lows. Seems to work good. So it was a used board sander, but I think it was probably not used very much, and looked like it was dropped a couple times maybe, but it's working good, and working a lot better than these. These are both worn out, but it's moving good, and I think it's just fine. For 50 bucks, can't beat it. I got a bunch of sandpaper with it. I tried one sheet of, I think it's 220 or something. Looks like this is wood. It just fell apart, but probably these heavy ones here will be good enough. So a little free sandpaper, and I got quite a bit of 80 grit left here, and it's definitely doing what a board sander is supposed to do, is making stuff straight. And I can always fix it, but I'll go ahead and try to do what I can do on this, and clean up the sides, put a little body putty on it, fix any little chips and stuff, straighten it up, and I'm going to primer this whole thing again today. All I really got left is this front piece here, and of course the trunk. I'm not gonna, tailgate section, I'm not gonna really worry about that too much. I've got a little bit of dents. The camera's really not showing them here, but I got a few dents in this tailgate. Kind of fix those, and it should be good enough. Well, there it is. Got the front all primed. I ran out of primer. I didn't get that top piece, but all looks pretty good. Well, I'm back here on the f100. This door was not so good, so I put a little Bondo on it. I'm ready to put some more. I've got some low spot here, right in there, down in there somewhere. It's not bad. I marked a lot of little stuff here, and also some in this area. So I'm going to just mix up some Bondo and thin it good with body honey, and try to get this done. My little Rambler over there, I talked to a guy today. He's got a 318 motor and transmission. I bought it for 400 bucks. So all he needs a distributor cap and some wires. So he's going to bring that. I'll have to get it here in the shop somehow. But he should be coming pretty soon. Meanwhile, I'll just do a little work on this, eat lunch. Well, spent a few hours sanding this. I had marked all these little places you see here. That's where they had paint chips or this or that. Got this side all pretty much straight. Tailpiece here. A few places. I put the final glazing putty on this side. I just need to sand that off. And this will finish this door up pretty good. And I'm pretty much done with this thing. Front don't look too bad here. I decided I probably not even going to try to prime that inside part. I might a little right there in the middle, but I'll mix up the rest of my primer. If I got enough, I'll see what I can do about it. But I think to do these two sides and the bed, probably going to use it all up. Anyway, do a little more sanding and we'll squirt some primer on it. I don't know if this is recording or not. It is. Here it is done. Nice and straight. All the primer is finished. Throttle's touchy. Well, there goes a happy camper. Old truck looks pretty good. Another project down the road. Take care, buddy.